Welcome to the UCL Pokemon Draft League. This is Alex Grimes II, the king himself, and we're finally here. We watched every single game that was played the entire UCL season. We're finally here at the playoffs, round one. This time, we're once again joined by Trevor, the leader of the Chico Chestnuts. How you doing?
Hey, yo, good to be back. It's all been building towards this, 23 games, however many weeks. I'm ready to see first round of playoff. This is about to be hype.
And it's kind of impressive that we went through every single week on video and recorded every single one, and now we're finally here at playoffs.
I mean, let me tell you, everyone else trying to record gameplay videos, none of you have the work ethic the King does. He gets in every week, grinds it out, and uploads the video. You will not find a single match that he missed this entire season. He's that thorough.
Exactly. So now we're here at the playoffs. Single elimination. The winner takes it all at the end, the UCL throne. Who do you think is going to come out on top? I think it's the King.
I mean, yeah, it's always bad to bet against the King, but if we were to throw a dark horse in the mix, I mean, we just know the King is such an overwhelming favorite at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could be interesting. It's really cool to see that we got Pat Flynn, the most recent champion, two-time back-to-back champion, and also we have Chris, the best we've seen so far. So the fact they're on the same side of the bracket, they could play as early as round 2, which is unprecedented. So it really opens the field up for the rest of the squads here, and I think this really is anybody's tournament.
This is definitely anybody's tournament. We can easily see a new champion in this season. Kalamazoo Alakazam and Kalamazoo Alakazam and the Pittsburgh Celesteela are both on the same side of the bracket. That means they have to battle each other. There will not be champion versus champion finals. Well, actually, there could be. Who's on the other side of the bracket? We got, let's go over here to the bracket.
Galen. We got Galen.
Galen. Yeah, Galen, season 7 champion. He could be, he's the only other winner that's in this tournament at this, so far. Other than that, we have, Luke Harding on the Pittsburgh Celesteela, who won the doubles tournament and won the summer league, but never got that main UCL championship. What do you think about his chances?
I mean, I think they look pretty good, but it does suck that he's up against Pat Flynn in the first round. I mean, that's got to be rough. On the one hand, we did kind of price him out of all of his mods this season, so he hasn't looked as unshakable in the past, so maybe there's an opening for Luke, but at the end of the day, he's got some tight gameplay, and that's going to be hard to beat. The thing that I'm most interested in is our perennial second place favorite, North Korean Nosepass. In a good spot, take this bracket on. Yeah, he's going to have a tough semis no matter what way you slice it, but I think his path there might be relatively open, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can finally claim that dub or if he's always here to play second fiddle.
Now, we do have some dark horses. We have two first-time playoffs contenders being the Fat Stack Snorlax and the Emaus Empoleon. Both were always on the line. Emaus Empoleon having a winning record in his first season, last season of season 13, but was not able to make playoffs. And then the Fat Stack Snorlax struggling their entire career, finally were able to clinch playoffs a little early in the season. And now he's going to be going against random number generators and Demo. What do you think this matchup's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's a watershed moment for all the Bisquick boys, all the tomboys in the chat. Fat stacks of pancakes. We're glad our man finally made it. But on the other hand, he's going against, his opponent is no slouch. Harry has been one of the better players in the league consistently, season in, season out. As long as he doesn't quit, he's done pretty damn well. But, quitting was always his issue. So the fact that he stuck around this long, I think, is a sign that he maybe is a little bit more serious, maybe gives a shit this time, which is new for him. So I think it's definitely a tough match, but we've seen so much growth out of Bisquick in this season alone. I think he has a shot.
I think that the hardest route to the championship would have to be Jamie Trainor and Jamie Trainor's bulky boys. He has to go against, just to start, Chris Jordan, the Kalamazoo Alakazam 6-side champion. Then he has to beat either Luke in the Pittsburgh Celesteela or the two back-to-back champion Bethlehem Braviaries. And then after that, in semis, he would have to face. Well, I don't think Fast Axe Norris is going to make it. I'm just going to throw it out there, unfortunately.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't think he's going to make it.
The numbers support you.
He'd have to either face, the Southampton Himmatop, who's been devastating this entire season, just going crazy.
Yeah,
random number generator is always good, and North Korean nose pass, the best to never do it.
Exactly.
And then he has to face whoever's on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a tough road ahead for Jamie, but at the end of the day, that's kind of the punishment for getting 16th seed. He squeaked his way in. Don't get me wrong, we're all glad to have him here, but he's got a tough road ahead, and he earned that spot. So that's just part of the bracket, baby.
All right, we could talk on and on about all the matchups in this round, but we're just gonna go ahead and show them instead of just talking about it. Let's go ahead to the first match. We'll be right back after these commercial segments. I will remember you. Every year in the UCL, there are over 300 poor, precious Pokemon that go undrafted and without a team. Don't let these pure, beautiful creatures suffer. How long must they suffer? Please, in your next draft, think of them. This is brought to you by UCL Homeless Relief Foundation. Please, catch them all. Our first match will be between Kalamazoo Alakazam and Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boys. This is a match between a playoff hopeful. Everybody wanted Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boys to make it. There was a movement stop Jamie. The haters, myself included, were praying for Jamie's downfall, but he could not be stopped. For the second season in a row, he is in the playoffs.
I would say, yeah, he just, he put in the work, and people meme on him all they want, but at the end of the day, Jamie gets wins, and all you need to do is get above a 50% record to make it in, and that's just what he did, so he's here to stay.
He's going to be the lowest seed, 11-11 on the normal season with a 9 differential, positive 9 differential. He's going to have to go against the all-time greatest, Kalamazoo Alakazam, record of 20-2 on the season, top seed with a differential of 24. You have to think the 24 differential as the top seed is kind of low.
Yeah, he's had a lot more close games this season than you'd expect, but at the end of the day, he knows how to win a game, and when you're in best-of-1 playoffs, that's all you need.
Now, definitely, he's going to be just above a 1 differential on each game, just having a barely scraping by each game, but he's winning the games. But I still think Jamie Trainor has the opportunity to win this game. Kalamazoo Alakazam definitely seems beatable in this season, even with the record that he's attained for himself.
That he does. And I think, again, we've seen Jamie take a lot of games way closer than he has any business taking them, and a lot of that is him relying on that defensive core he's always been known for. You got Quagsire in there. You got Aromatisse, Wobbuffet just for a little bit of cheese. Moltres is a great switch into all the ground types. Longevity. That's this man's motto. And the fact that he paired it up with a couple more aggressive looks from the Mega Sceptile and the Obstagoon, I think has really made for a cohesive team that he's used quite well.
Okay, let's look at Kalamazoo Alakazam's team here. So we've got the Mega Alakazam at Tier 1 spot. Kiro, Diancie, Talonflame, Lantern, Landorus, Rodon Mo, Caesar, Houndoom, and Tauros. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly a slightly more aggressive look than we're used to seeing from the man himself. He definitely doesn't have as many full-on defensive pieces as he normally has. He's usually got, something with recovery in there to kind of stall you out when he needs to. So I like the more aggressive look from him, but man, if his offense isn't deadly. You've got Mega Alakazam, 150 speed, insane special attack stat. And then on top of that, you also got the Kyurem for your mixed ice ground breaking with that Earth Power Freeze Dry. Almost impossible to switch into that defensively. And on top of that, he's got immunities all across the board in case he needs an emergency switch in, and Caesar for strong prio in the back. So I think he has more than enough tools to win these games, and I think with this game in general, it's going to come down to who plays it better.
In addition to that, he only has 2 recurring Pokemon, being Mega Alakazam and the Landorus. He's fielding a fairly new team in this season. We're going to see how it matches up against Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boys. Let's move over to him. Jamie is fielding Jirachi, Mega Sceptile, Moltres, Aromatisse, Wobbuffet, Keldeo, Obstagoon, Quagsire, Terrakion, and Muck. What do you think about his team?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, longevity has always been the game plan for this man. You see we got the Wish Protect on the Aromatisse. We got Quagsire as the all-too-familiar Unaware recovery bot, plus the Moltres, I think, for roosting, keeping himself nice and healthy throughout the match. The thing I really like with this is Jamie was not afraid to get a little bit more speed this time and a little bit more offense. I think Mega Sceptile and Terrakion are 2 great pickups for him to be able to win games after he defensively checks his opponent into a corner. And then the Jirachi as well, being able to play that all-important support role while also be able to go for the Z Happy Hour and the Scarf sets. It gives him a lot of versatility that I think has been really instrumental in his success this season.
Jamie Trainor, definitely a defensive player, but this time he has a little switch up. He's got some speed. He's got a little bit of power. We'll see how he does in this matchup, and we'll see which 6 Pokemon each player has chosen. Let's move on to the battle.
Get it.
Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boys will be on the player side, while Kalamazoo Alakazam will be on the opponent side. Terrakion versus Alakazam. Alakazam wants to get out of there. The Landorus will get the immunity on the Earthquake and Intimidate onto the Terrakion. Terrakion gets Stuffed Rocks instead and misses the Rock Slide. Diancie is in now. It's going to get Toxic. Oh, that's good. Going to get Toxic onto the Diancie and then switch into the Jirachi.
All right, now he's going to get rocks of his own. We got rocks on both sides of the field. Here comes the Talonflame, rocking the boots, as you would expect. U-turn. Oh, Flame Body, unfortunate for what very well could be a Scarf Jirachi at this point. We're going to need to see that come out a little bit more before we know. Switching to Lantern on the Keldeo as he doubles back into the Terrakion. Leftovers, okay, we've confirmed the item, so no AV there to soak up special attack hits. Lando back out for the Intimidate. Another Toxic. Jamie gets exactly what he wants. Let's see where he goes from here.
They're just trying to trade status, trade some chip damage. They keep U-turning, switching out into trying to get the upper hand on each other. Moltres versus the Lantern. Muck is in now. This is the first time we saw Muck in playoffs. The Volt Switch will come out. Diancie back in front of the Muck. He's going to be able to resist something here. Diamond Storm does little damage onto the Muck. Poison Jab will.
But that defense boost is huge. He could have hit for twice as much damage there. Oh, Earth Power on the Jirachi. Reading that one like a Dr. Seuss book.
Jirachi's getting low, sitting at 5% here. Is definitely going to die on the next turn. Meteor Mash will kill off the Jirachi. That berry did nothing. And the Jirachi gets a speed attack boost. That's going to cut the burn effectiveness in half now. Here comes Kyurem. Going to be slower than the Jirachi, and the substitute missed. It fails. The substitute fails. It's down to 23%. That means this Kyurem is down. The Kalamazoo Alakazam is on a back foot.
Yeah, they dropped one of their biggest offensive threats. At this point, it's all on Alakazam to put in the work on 6 mons, including a Dark type. It's looking pretty okay for Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boys at this point. Earthquake knocks out the Jirachi. Okay, we got Moltres back in on the Lantern. U-turn here, pivoting around, feeling each other out, not wanting to risk too much. Exactly what you expect out of 2 playoff caliber players.
Buck is going to come in. He's looking a little bit low. Going to take a Volt Switch. Very techy on the special defensive side. Talonflame, and maybe he should have went for a knockoff there if he had it. The Poison Jab will poison the Talonflame. Shadow Sneak will do a little bit of damage. Will-O-Wisp onto the Muck. Muck is just sitting there with the utility just now. He's trying to get the poison on, trying to just tank up and stay alive for as long as possible as the poison ticks down. Muck is going to stay in, just is going to die from the burn eventually, while Talonflame stays healthy with its roost.
Yeah, this is a sack here from Jamie, probably just trying to get something in without losing too much momentum, but unfortunately Chris is at a point where he knows he can just roost off and never have to risk anything, so he's playing as defensive as he can. Parting Shot, try to fake him out maybe on some sort of a knockoff or facade type move, but back into Moltres, and now it's Firebird versus Firebird.
Now we know that the Talonflame can't do anything against the Moltres. It has to U-turn out. Lantern is in now. That means Moltres gets a free U-turn. He's keeping the momentum on Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boy's side, but it's now 4-4. Jamie Trainor's lost Jirachi, lost Muck. We have Moltres, Keldeo, Absolute, and Terrakion left against the Mega Alakazam, the Talonflame, Landorus, and then Lantern. I have to say that the Kalamazoo Alakazam side looks better to me on paper.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is Jamie's only real way to break this is with either the Terrakion or the Keldeo, but we also don't know of a last move on Terrakion. If it's CC, that makes that even harder. So it's tough for him to try and break through this defensive core, and basically what we're seeing here is just they're switching back and forth in their defensive checks, and we gotta wait for someone to break parity. Here comes Megazam trying to do just that.
They're gonna have to hope that that Mega Alakazam is not going to outspeed both Keldeo and Terrakion. The Terrakion's going to die here. Obstagoon's in now.
We get the okay, so he's got the Defiant on the Intimidate. Throat Chop's the best he can do, but ooh, only 58%. That means he's gonna live well enough to probably toss up a burn if he wants, but I guess he's going back into Moltres. Roost again, Chris just playing it safe, calculated. You know, at the end of the day, the fact that he got poison on him, which is normally something you look for when you're taking Poison Touch, you want to fish for extra status, that might be the worst thing he could have done because there's no way he can Toxic it now, and it makes it so much harder for him to get through all those roosts.
Exactly. The Talonflame with the heavy-duty boots, there's no way to knock it off at this time. It's going to just keep on U-turning in front of Obstagoon. Muck's gone, so no knockoff there. The Talonflame is definitely going to be tanky in this game. It's crazy to hear.
I mean, he just got a good U-turn off on the Alakazam, though. It looks like he called his bluff.
50% there.
Yeah, Chris trying to go for the read on the Obstagoon with Dazzling Gleam. He just resists it, takes a nice 50% with a U-turn, but the problem is, I don't know if it's enough if he can't break this Talonflame. Assuming it's a Water Absorb on the Lantern, how's Keldeo ever going to get anything done?
Exactly. If Keldeo is not Scarfed, he's not going to be able to kill the Talonflame, and even if he does this Lantern have Water Absorb? Does Lantern have Water Absorb as a ability?
Yeah, Water Absorb, Bolt Absorb. It gets both. That's why it's so good down in the 40 tier. But the problem is you don't know until he clicks it.
That Keldeo is stuck in stuck between a rock and a hard place. No way to break through the two defensive checks here. Actually, Lantern's getting pretty low. If Jamie Trainor can kill the Lantern, then the Keldeo will be able to win this game if it's Scarf.
But the Icy Wind into the Toxic on Moltres is huge. One thing that's so great about Moltres' defensive mon is you're usually fast enough to outspeed the other things that want to Toxic you in response. But if you get slowed down and you eat that Toxic, he's never beaten the Talonflame now. He's going to keep on ticking while Talonflame keeps healthy.
We saw the Z Sub-Zero Slammer come in. That means Keldeo's slower than the Alakazam, who kills it with a Dazzling Gleam. Lantern versus the Obstagoon back in. The damage is gone for Jamie Trainor's Bulky Boys. He's losing this game.
And all it takes at this point should be, a Dazzling Gleam and then a Psychic, and then I think Alakazam sweeps. So unless he's trying to play it safe just in case it's some sort of a Scarf Goon, then that's the only real win con that Jamie has left.
So all he has to do is wait for this Toxic Moltres to get too damaged, and then the Alakazam will be able to kill off both Pokemon at once. Talonflame, with just the regular poison, is going to be able to survive easily against this Moltres. Here comes a U-turn, predicting that parting shot. Alakazam's going to get a free hit in.
Ooh, CM's up. Okay. Doesn't want to go right for it. Switching out, respecting the Scarf, so he's probably read something that we didn't. Burn. Okay, if Facade is on this set, this might have changed the game. If he doesn't have the Facade, because obviously he's not Guts, he's running Defiant, which you saw in the Lando, then I think it's going to be really tough for Jamie to pull out a win here.
Why did he use the... Oh, it's a... Okay. That's weird. Oh, it's Flame Body. Okay, it's not the Flame Orb.
Flame Body. Yeah, he's got the Flame Body. No, you good. But sometimes you run that anyways, because Facade's still your best stab, and especially when you know your opponent might have a Flame Body Mon, or he's likely to spam status on you, then you want the chance just to get a Scarf 140 stab out of your Mon. But outside of this, I mean, I think every time Chris plays it correctly with a prediction to get the Zam in, he has a free chance. Okay, killing it with the Flamethrower, but the question is, can Goon do enough damage to kill this? It's probably going to take a
kills the Moltres. Yeah, the Moltres kills the Alakazam and then dies itself. Obstagoon versus Talonflame now.
Yeah, there's no way. He's burned. He's scarfed into it. He can't.
It's not enough.
Yeah, this is just going to be clean and collected for Chris, and he's going to collect his win and move on into round 2 playoffs. But damn, what a fight Jamie put up in that one.
Definitely put up a fight all the way down to the last Pokemon. Just fighting the Seed 16, bringing down the Seed 1 to 1 Pokemon left. That just harkens back to what we were saying, that Kalamazoo Alakazam definitely seems defeatable in this playoff series.
That he does. I mean, Jamie had grit through and through that game. There were a lot of really good moves, a lot of nerves of steel type play turns that he took off with the Terrakion staying in turn 1, calling the bluff, throwing Toxics, getting his rocks up, playing that as well as he could. But at the end of the day, it was Firebird versus Firebird, and the poison that he got actually ended up hurting him because it opened himself up to get Toxic, and that's where he started ticking down, and that was the beginning of the end for old Jamie.
Kalamazoo Alakazam will be moving on as the first victor in the playoffs. Unfortunate for Jamie Trainor, we'll see him most likely in the next season. For now, we're going to move on to the next battle.